Hey there. A few weeks ago, I told you about a project that has brought me a ton of encouragement this year. It's a project started and grown by listeners to this show. And that project, it has gotten even more exciting in the last few weeks. And it's getting set up to grow and grow in 2026 with plenty of room for so many people to help in big ways and in small ways. So, quick recap. Early this year, we got an email from a med student in Brooklyn, Thomas Sanford. He had been spreading the word about an organization he'd learned about from this show, $4. That's a nonprofit that helps people apply for financial assistance from hospitals.
So I reached out to them, sent them an email. They very kindly sent me a PDF of their small little business touch cards they have. And I printed out 1,000 of them, start handing them out to residents and giving them to patients.
And Thomas wanted to know, did we have something more comprehensive he could give people? Like something that had links for getting prescription drugs for less, or with information about how to deal with insurance problems? And we didn't, but we wrote about Thomas's note in our first aid kit newsletter with a quick list of things we might put on a one-sheet handout. Thomas made the handout and included resources some of you wrote back with in response to that newsletter.
I had so many people reach out with great ideas for resources. They were super unbelievably helpful. I grabbed so many
Thomas started
resources.
giving that handout to patients, and he shared it with us for more feedback, and we talked with him for the podcast. And now, let me just tell you, between the work Thomas has started doing in the last few weeks and some design know-how another listener has started kicking in, and a thing or two that we're doing around here, this whole thing is set to level up. This is An Arm and a Leg, a show about why healthcare costs so freaking much and what we can maybe do about it. I'm Dan Weissman. I'm a reporter, and I like a challenge, so the job we've chosen on this show is to take one of the most enraging, terrifying, depressing parts of American life and bring you a show that's entertaining, empowering, and useful. So, one of the really cool things about the way Thomas set up his one-page handout was he put it under what's called a Creative Commons license. Basically, this gives permission for anybody to make copies or their own versions. But there was a little bit of a problem with this approach because Thomas had created this thing on Google Docs. And that's not ideal for a handout that tries to make good use of space, like putting information in columns or including QR codes so people can scan links right from their phones. But luckily, when we asked, hey, can anybody help Thomas make this thing even better? The right person was listening.
I'm Rosemary Rogers. I work in user experience design and research, basically trying to make things easier for people to accomplish their goal.
Make things easier to use.
And then when there was a request for some volunteers and just help kind of putting it together, figured I could help with that.
And Rosemary brought some special expertise from an assignment she'd had at work.
One of my projects has been around helping people navigate their surprise medical bills, like understanding their rights with the No Surprises Act.
So talking with Rosemary, I realized she had made some of the resources that Thomas ended up adding to his guide. These were tools posted to federal government websites, and they were great. I was like, are you the person who wrote to me about that?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I should totally remember.
No,
oh my gosh.
To be fair, I shared that with you on another email than this email.
Okay, different email address. I'm off the hook. So, Rosemary's version addresses two issues with Thomas's original document. First, because Rosemary's a designer who specializes in function, she's made some visual tweaks. So now each resource is in a little box with rounded corners, and all the text is in a super easy to read font. And second, Rosemary's version is easy to adapt, make your own version of. Because, like wherever you live, there's probably local resources people should know about. Like, you want help applying for Medicaid? There's a local organization to call. Is your insurance jerking you around? You want to link to your state's regulator.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I'd make one for my town, over time, see what's like local, and then, make a local page.
Yeah, and as Thomas pointed out, if you're working in a hospital, maybe you want to give your patients a link directly to your hospital's financial assistance program. And because Rosemary has built this layout in a website called Canva, that's not hard to do. We've made a link. It's a link that will allow you to open up your own personal copy of Rosemary's design and start adapting it however you need, which I totally love. Meanwhile, Thomas has started moving on another track, getting this thing to healthcare workers so they can get it to patients. He has started reaching out to local leaders of unions that represent medical residents, and he's got a long checklist after that.
Any medical society, a nursing union, any career that's patient-facing directly, that's sort of a very natural spot, I think, for maximizing the reach, because it's much harder to reach an audience of every American with insurance troubles. It's a lot easier to find an audience of every medical provider who is then going to see every American who seeks medical care.
I think this is so smart. It's getting this information to people exactly when they may first realize they need it. Oh, and Thomas has this other idea I really like. This one involves a piece of the basic dress code for healthcare workers.
Every doctor on the planet has to wear a lanyard with their ID on it.
And these lanyards have a little dongle. It's called a badge reel. It lets you hold out your badge for like swiping in or whatever without taking off the lanyard or, bending all the way over.
You can get them with all sorts of like little designs on the front.
Like a cartoon of a grumpy cat or the Grateful Dead logo or whatever, really. So
rather than it being their favorite sports team, could it be QR codes to a resource like this so that as patients come with those concerns, they can just say, scan my lanyard. Right. And then you could just show it to your patient.
Okay. All of this is genius. And here's where we come in. You and me. First, when someone scans that lanyard, where does that link go? Well, hey, I know a website that could host a digital version of this resource list. That would be armandalegshow.com. So we've got a first draft up right now at armandalegshow.com/help. We've built it to be easy to use on a mobile phone, since that's what you probably got with you if a healthcare worker is holding out their badge. And then we've got a second page for anybody who wants to participate, to pitch in. And this one is armandalegshow.com/helpers. That's where you'll find Rosemary's PDF, so you can print out as many copies as you want. Hand them out, leave piles of them at your local library, your community centers, hospital waiting rooms, anywhere. And you'll find that special link so you can customize Rosemary's version. And we'll have some basic instructions for how to use all that. And there'll be a contact form. You can sign up to tell us and Thomas and Rosemary and each other ways you would like to pitch in, or make suggestions to make the next version even better, or tell us what you're already doing. You've been making copies and distributing them. You've made a version featuring local resources in your area. Let us know. I'm going to say, I think this could really take off. When I talked with Thomas, he was in the middle of applying for medical residencies, and he told me he'd been mentioning this project in his interviews, and the people he was talking to were like, wait, tell me more about that.
And these are not small fry people. These are program directors and administrators at some of the largest, most prestigious medical institutions in the country. Well, maybe not most impressive, but like pretty darn impressive. I don't want to hype myself up too much.
I will take it. And here's what I love the absolute most. This is all happening because people listening to this show and reading our newsletters are coming together and taking what they've learned here and putting it to work. Dozens of you have gotten in touch with Thomas and with us, offering suggestions, volunteering to pitch in. And in addition to Thomas and Rosemary, these latest steps owe a huge debt to a couple folks I want to mention here. Last spring, a listener named Rose Gassner wrote to us about a medical debt workshop she was about to lead at the Brooklyn Public Library.
Hi, I'm Rose.
Are you Rose?
I'm Rose. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh my God, your voice.
Oh yeah, we got to go.
Emily and Claire.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Thomas's project was still developing then. Rose wanted a handout ready for the event.
So we developed one.
Oh!
Doing our best.
Wait, really? Okay. And one thing stood out. The top resources on her list were local to New York. And when we talked about it, Rose hammered home to me the importance of giving people specific information tailored to their circumstances.
It's been my whole career trying to figure out social service navigation.
Yeah.
And it's very hard.
It's hard. Yeah.
So our determination to make this a configurable resource that anybody can adapt, it really comes directly from that conversation with Rose. And also this. When Thomas set out to spread the word among healthcare workers, the first person he got in touch with was a medical resident and arm and a leg listener named Joey Ballard. Because a year ago, we talked with Joey on this show about his own advocacy and activism as a med student and resident. I mention all of this because it is so incredibly moving to me. This is a show about why healthcare costs so much and what we can maybe do about it. And with this project, more than ever before, I've been seeing that we coming together. And this work that we are doing, it could not be more timely. As I record this, Congress hasn't renewed enhanced subsidies for Obamacare. Millions of people are likely to lose insurance or drop it. The insurance people get from work keeps covering less and less, and huge cuts to Medicaid are coming. We need a structural fix. And in the meantime, we can help each other survive. And you've been working with us to develop the tools to do more. We've gotten this far with your help. Nobody owns an arm and a leg. Our biggest source of support has always been you. And we got a boost in 2025 from a foundation, and we used their money to bring First Aid Kit back as a weekly resource and to collect dozens and dozens of your stories and tips on getting better prices for prescription drugs, compile them into a playbook, and to revamp our website and add starter packs. That was like a one-time boost. It was huge. Those projects set us up to build this one with you. And now we need your help to keep building it. Help as in pitching in, and help as in we do this for a living. Everybody on the team here, we are talking about incredibly accomplished professionals. I mean, I'll say I don't want to brag, but I'm gonna. We won an award that I'm really proud of this year from the Online News Association. And you may not have heard of it, but you've heard of the recent winners in our category. Last year, it was LA's public radio outlet called LAist Studios. The year before that, Al Jazeera. And the year before that, the Wall Street Journal. What I'm saying is, this is our livelihood. We're good at it. So if you can swing it, we need your financial help to keep doing this work and to keep growing it. So many of you have already pitched in this year. Thank you so much. And if you haven't yet, I'm asking you now. Go to armandalegshow.com/support and pitch in. armandalegshow.com/support. We have got our work cut out for us this year, and I am so lucky to get to do this work. Please help us keep doing it. armandalegshow.com/support. Thank you so much. We're going to catch you in a few weeks in 2026. Till then, take care of yourself. This episode of An Arm and a Leg was produced by me, Dan Weissman, with help from Emily Pizzacreta and edited by Ellen Weiss. Adam Raimunda is our audio wizard. Our music is by Dave Weiner and Blue Dot Sessions. Claire Davenport is our engagement producer. Sarah Balama is our operations manager. B. Bosco is our consulting director of operations. An Arm and a Leg is produced in partnership with KFF Health News. That's a national newsroom producing in-depth journalism about health issues in America and a core program at KFF, an independent source of health policy research, polling, and journalism. Zach Dyer is senior audio producer at KFF Health News. He's editorial liaison to this show. An Arm and a Leg is distributed by KUOW, Seattle's NPR news station. Thank you to the Institute for Nonprofit News for serving as our fiscal sponsor. They allow us to accept tax-exempt donations. You can learn more about INN at inn.org. Finally, thank you to everybody who supports this show financially. You can join in at any time at armandalegshow.com/support. We're recording this episode pretty far in advance, so we'll be shouting out more donors when we come back in January. For now, you know who you are. Thank you so much.